won't none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, we're going to talk about the number 4 North Carolina Tar Heels visit to Chestnu Hill to take on the 11-6 Boston College Golden Eagles in frigid Boston, 2:15 p.m. on the CW Network. Exciting. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of the ball game, let's take a look at those updated ACC rankings, bro. And the mighty Tar Heels of North Carolina are sitting all alone at the top of the Atlantic Coast Conference with an unblemished 6-0 record, followed by the team we love to hate and Florida State at 5-1. Puke is 4-1. Fake is 4-2. UVA, Miami, and Syracuse are knotted at 3-3. Clemson, Boston College, Virginia Tech, and Georgia Tech are 2-4. Notre Dame's 2-5. And the Pitt Panthers and the Louisville Cardinals are in a battle for last place at 1-5. Now, the Boston College Golden Eagles and the North Carolina Tar Heels have 3 common opponents to this point: State, Syracuse, and Clemson. Boston College lost to NC State 84-78 at home, at Syracuse 69-59, and at Clemson 89-78. North Carolina beat NC State 67-54. They beat Syracuse 103-67, and they beat Clemson in Clemson 65-55. So BC has 3 losses. North Carolina has 3 W's. Now, the Boston College Golden Eagles are averaging 78 points per game, and they're giving up 72.8 points per game. They average 35 rebounds and 14 assists. North Carolina, on the other hand, is averaging 83.9 points per game and 69.5 points per game given up. They are averaging 41 boards and 14 assists themselves. Now, the Boston College Golden Eagles are led by head coach Earl Grant, who's in his 3rd year at Boston College. He's amassed a 40-43 record at BC, good for a .482 winning percentage, and a 167-132 overall coaching record, including his first head coaching job at the College of Charleston. The Golden Eagles' leading scorer is 7-foot, 230-pound senior forward Quentin Post, who is averaging 16.9 points per game, good for 137th in the country, 7.4 rebounds per game, 143rd in the country, and 3.2 assists. He's shooting 50.2% from the field and 44.2% from 3. He's also shooting 82.7% from the charity stripe. Post is a really good player that can play down low on the blocks, carve out some space, and can even step out from beyond the arc and make you pay. He hit 3 threes in the last 5 to 6 minutes of Boston College's win over Notre Dame. This is a really good basketball player. Boston College has 6'3", 190-pound junior guard Claudell Harris Jr., who's averaging 15 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. He's shooting 46% from the floor and 41.7% from 3. Then you got 6'2", 220-pound junior guard Jaden Zachary, who's averaging 12.2 points per game, 3.1 rebounds, and 4.3 assists, which is good for 103rd in the country. He's shooting 48.5% from the floor and only 29.7% from 3. They have 6'7", 230-pound sophomore guard Devin McGlockton, which is averaging 10.1 points per game, 6.5 boards, and 1.1 assists. He's shooting 58.1% from the field and 35.3% from 3. And then there's 6'7", 225-pound sophomore guard Prince Aligbe, who was averaging 6.2 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 0.6 assists. He's shooting 41.1% from the field and a staggering 9.5% from 3. So, I don't think you're going to have to really step out on that guy. Just saying. Now that we've taken a look at the bad guys, let's look at the heroes. The hero Tar Heels from North Kakalaki, the number 4 North Carolina Tar Heels are led by head coach Hubert Davis, who is in his third year at his alma mater. He has a current record at UNC of 63-26, which is good for a 708 winning percentage. The North Carolina Tar Heels leading scorer is 6 foot, 180-pound senior guard RJ Davis, who is averaging 20.4 points per game, which is good for 20th in the country, 3.5 boards, and 3.5 assists. RJ shooting 43.5% from the floor and 41.9% from three. He's also shooting 95.7% from the charity stripe. Then we have 6 foot, 180-pound freshman guard Elliot Cadeau, who's averaging 6.9 points per game, 1.6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists as well. EC is shooting 45.7% from the floor and only 21.1% from three. Then there's 6 foot 5, 195-pound senior guard Cormac Ryan, who's averaging 10.9 points per game, 3.3 boards, and 1.3 assists. He's shooting 39.2% from the field and 30.2% from three. Cormac had a really good game against the Louisville Cardinal that saw him shoot 4 for 7 from the three-point line and putting up a respectable 14 points. Let's see if Cormac can string together back-to-back good games from beyond the arc, as that opens everything else up. EC, dribble drives, Armando Bacot down low, you name it. It just opens a ton of things up. Then we have 6 foot 7, 235-pound junior forward Harrison Ingram, who's averaging 12.5 points per game, 7.5 boards, and 2.6 assists. Harrison is shooting 42.5% from the field and 41.1% from three. And last but not least, there's 6 foot 11, 240-pound preseason All-American senior forward Armando Bacot, who is averaging 14.8 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, good for 7th in the country, and 1.5 assists. He's shooting 54.3% from the field, 79.6% from the charity stripe. Mondo had a great game against the Cardinals. He scored 19. He brought in 7 boards, 5 assists, and had 3 blocks. Just completely stuffed the stat box. Going to be a fun matchup watching him and Post battle it out. Also keep an eye out for the major contributions coming from the bench. Jalen Washington, Jalen Withers, who had 15 and 10 against the Cards, and Seth Trimble. So now that we've looked at the tail of the tape, let's take a look at Russ's 3 keys to victory. Key number 1, defend the post. Quentin Post is a big man, and he does a tremendous job of establishing down low position, so Armando is going to have to be active early. You cannot let Post set up around the rim. He's big enough, he's athletic enough that if he seals off the defender, he can catch, drop step, and bend the stinking rim. That's not to say that you can sag on this guy. He's got a really smooth stroke and will bang them from deep, so you have got to stay on him. Really good player. Armando is once again going to have his hands full. Key number 2, defend on the perimeter. Carolina has been really good as of late defending the arc. That is until Louisville came into Chapel Hill and shot 44.4% from beyond the arc, hitting on 8 of 18 3 balls. UNC needs to get back to defending the 3 ball. As everyone knows, it is the great equalizer. That's how BC stays in this game, if they can bang threes. Defend the perimeter. And key number 3, get hot in the cold. Tomorrow's high in Boston, you ask? 20 stinking degrees. Thank goodness this thing is indoors. I think this is a game where Mondo possibly is challenged on the scoring end, having to score over the 7-footer inside. RJ needs to be RJ. Harrison's going to have to hit 2 or 3. And Cormac needs to string together back-to-back games where he shows himself a viable threat on the perimeter. 2:15 game on the CW. Frigid temperatures outside. Carolina needs to get hot inside. Which leads us to Russ's score prediction. Now, the ESPN matchup indicator gives the Heels a 74.3% chance of beating the Eagles in Chestnut Hill. Now, BC has played in a ton of close games this year. It seems like win or lose, it's a tight one for all intents and purposes. And I always get extremely weird feelings when we go up to Boston College. I mean, it's almost like going to Alaska, but on the East Coast as far as I'm concerned. It feels out of place. I have a feeling that this one actually ends up being a ball game. And Carolina has to seal it late. And I'm saying that they're going to seal it late at the free throw line. Just call it a hunch, guys. But give me Carolina 79, Boston College 75 in a much closer game than we would all like. So let me know what you think about this game down in the comments section, Tar Heel and Eagle Nation. Is Russ the Tar Heel onto something? Or am I sitting down at the end of the bench, holding a clipboard with my bifocals, just happy to be here and collect the towels for the guys? Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're a Tar Heel or if you're a college basketball fan, period. Subscribe to the channel and consider becoming a member of the Huddle Hooligans to help support your boy and the channel. Unfortunately, there will be no live stream tomorrow because the game is at the tail end of my work shift. So won't be able to do a live stream, but there will be a reaction video that happens shortly after that. So make sure that you tune into that, Tar Heel Nation. I love you, Tar Heel Nation. Go Heels, and we'll catch you on the next one, baby.
I'm a Tar Heel boy, I'm a Tar Heel